hit like and subscribe. You're watching the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel.
Peace, family. This is your brother, Marc Lamont Hill. Welcome to Night School. Every night here on the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel, we hold Night School, where I break down the most controversial subjects, the most engaged debates, the most interesting topics going on in the world today. And tonight is no different. I hate to disappoint you that my wife isn't on. I've gotten so many notes from people like, she just be on all the time. She's be on every day. We like her. I'm starting to feel a little jealous. She's here sitting on the side right now for a second, and you realize you just ruined it. You ruined the audience for me. They don't mess with me no more.
Nice.
That's nice. No. Yes, we love Melissa. I see you, D. Marie. Okay, fine. Did I go to BAM? No, I didn't make it to the BAM Fest, y'all.
I did.
My wife did. she left me.
It was great.
She had a ball, her and her girlfriend. I'm looking on IG. They taking pictures and stuff. Oh Lord. It was. I'm glad you had a good time. She had a good time. I didn't make it out there. But shout out to Lorna Houston or Houston. That's probably Houston from South Africa. We love you out there. Appreciate you. Jazz LP said, correction, we love Melissa. Melissa es la reina del pueblo. Oh man, it's all kinds of it's all for you. All the love is for you. All the love is for you. By the way, yes, y'all, we're almost at 200,000 subscribers. It's a major accomplishment. We're very proud of that. If you haven't subscribed, do so. It doesn't cost you a nickel. All you gotta do is hit subscribe. We get right to it. We're not gonna be here long tonight, fam. It's been a long day. Of course, we recorded the Joe Budden podcast. Those of you who are JBP subscribers, you can see it tomorrow, Patreon, 8 a.m. usually Eastern time. You can catch it the rest of the week. Y'all can catch the other stuff. But if not, you can catch it on YouTube later in the week. Anyway, I recorded all day, so your boy is tired and sore and old. But I love y'all. I want to talk to y'all about a couple of things. We're going to talk about Diddy's murder plots, alleged murder plots. We're going to talk about Trump. He had a spokesperson who went to war with a black cop. And a lot of other stuff that we have to get to. I'm also going to take a couple live questions from you all. If you want to send a question, go to Super Chat or Super Sticker, Super Thanks, whichever one y'all want to do. But if you send it over, I will answer. I want to answer hopefully 5 questions. So if we could get 5 questions through, that would be amazing. We're near the end of the month, family, too. So feel free to get your memberships or to share or gift a membership to somebody, because we are pushing to pay bills at the end of the month here on the channel. But we're going to start with a story that is sad and frustrating, as most of these are these days. But it's one that I want to make sure that you all know about. It has the whole country talking, to be honest, and for good reason. In Georgia, a 30-year-old pregnant woman, Adriana Smith, has been brain dead for over 3 months. But doctors say they can't take her off of life support because of Georgia's abortion ban. Smith, a mother and nurse, was declared brain dead back in February after collapsing from blood clots in her brain. She was just 9 weeks, pregnant. That was 3 months ago again. Today, her body's still in a hospital bed. She's breathing only because there are machines keeping her alive for the fetus. Georgia's so-called heartbeat law bans abortion after cardiac activity is detected, usually around 6 weeks. And according to Smith's family, doctors told them that the law means they cannot unplug her. Her mother, her name's April Newkirk, says that they weren't given a choice, not even after doctors told them the fetus may have serious medical issues, fluid on the brain, maybe won't walk, maybe won't even survive. Her 5-year-old son still visits her in the hospital. This is heartbreaking. Multiple legal and medical experts say that Georgia law doesn't actually require this to happen. They say that turning off life support would not legally count as an abortion because Adriana is already dead. But in post-Roe America, everything, and I mean everything, is uncertain. And in states like Georgia, the fear of violating abortion law is leading doctors and hospitals to overcorrect. And you see situations like this where grieving families are caught in limbo. As of now, the family says they're stuck. They're also traumatized over and over again, and they're racking up medical bills while they wait. with 19 weeks left in the pregnancy. 19 more. Doctors are still trying to keep her body going long enough to deliver. But that in and of itself is a risky bet. Most similar cases only made it about 7 weeks more before the body gave out. This is awful. This is despicable. And we need to be clear that this case is not really even about the abortion debate. I think it's reasonable to have questions about pro-life, pro-choice, pro-abortion, however you language this. I think those conversations are okay. But this is about the state not just overcorrecting, which is part of it, but this is about the state using a human body to make a political point. This is about cruelty to the pregnant mother. You know, people like, and I'm not even gonna say Trump. This feels more like a J.D. Vance area. These types of Republicans, these types of conservatives are so protective or even overprotective of the fetus that they're willing to kill other people, namely the mother. In this case, the mother's already passed, and there's little chance that the baby will be viable. There's little chance that the body will even be medically alive, or the body will be medically dead but still serviceable for delivering the baby. There's little chance that this will work out the way they want it to, and yet they're still willing to let this play out to make a political point, to say they're tough on abortion. This is a level of cruelty that I can't imagine. And the idea that the family also has to pay the medical bills for this. To me, on top of this being awful and traumatic and all the things, I'm like, yo, and I gotta pay for this? No. If the state has that much of an investment in this childbirth happening, in this delivery happening, then y'all need to pay for it. Y'all need to make this happen. That's the only way that this makes sense to me. And it still doesn't make sense. It's still cruel. It's still awful. It still shouldn't happen. But Jesus. Yeah. I got nothing on this, man. I just don't see why this family should have to pay for this. They can't grieve and they can't get financial relief. Who benefits from this? Anyway, we'll leave it there, because I don't want this to become about the thing that it's not, right? Which for me is about whether you should have abortions or not. I mean, I think that's a conversation we should have. But I'm saying even people who believe that no abortion should happen should be able to look at this and say, this is awful. This is disgusting. That's all I'm saying. And it's only going to get worse, Dee Marie points out, and she's absolutely right. Rose Billy says it happened 10 years ago in Texas. The woman was literally decomposing. It's almost like the cruelty is the point here. Sandra Joy said it seems like the right-wing evangelicals could just as easily see life support as a means of playing God as they see abortion as playing God. That's why I mess with y'all here in the community, because that's a great point. But it's also about how this theological impulse and this it's interesting how all their morality, all their ethics, all their urgency hovers around one thing, and that thing is babies. And this is the argument we always make, right? They say they're pro-life, but they're willing to let people die from malnourishment once they're born. They're willing to let mothers die giving birth to babies. They're willing to get rid of Head Start. They're willing to cut education programs. They're willing to cut food programs. They're willing to block aid into Gaza. They show in so many ways how they are not interested in protecting life. They're only interested in stopping abortion. And this is just one more case. And the idea of saying, well, you can't play God, all babies need to get born. Okay. But if it's we shouldn't play God, then why are we using life support machines? I mean, to Sandra Joy's point, we could play this out all the way through, and the contradictions don't go away, and the logic doesn't hold up. So It's very frustrating. Bartosito Brujito, who we haven't seen in a while, shout out to you. Good to see you again. Some things the government shouldn't be involved in. We should have bodily autonomy, point blank, period. A mother of 5 who has had abortions in her teens, me. So I appreciate those perspectives, and it's important to hear those perspectives from the people on the ground. And when I say on the ground, I mean people who have to deal with this stuff. As a man, I don't deal with these things. I don't have it. So it's not for me to completely say. Reminds me of the politics around Terry Schiavo in Florida. Yes, I don't know if y'all remember that story. It's been over 20 years for Terry Schiavo, but it's still a resonant story. And I'm glad you brought it up because that's the kind of stuff I'm thinking about. Anyway, let's move on to another story that we have to get to. And this is a story I wanted to get to last night, but y'all were too busy ignoring me and praising my wife. Donald Trump's press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, caught on video pointing out black cop. That is the headline. That is the story. It's been blown up online, this story. And for some people, this is just racist. You know, I think, again, people have their own ideas about what is and what isn't racist. But at the very least, this creates an interesting question. I mean, let me pull this up for y'all so y'all can see for yourselves. I'm tired of having y'all rely on my word when you can see it for yourself. I don't know if you can see it. I apologize. I'm having a little tech issue here. Anyway, take a look at this new video surfaced showing Leavitt at what looks like a press event. In the clip, she appears visibly uncomfortable by a black police officer who's standing nearby. She looks him over, then points directly at him like she's asking someone to get him out of the shot. Moments later, he's gone. No words were exchanged on camera, but the body language says a lot. The disgust, the gesture, the outcome. It was enough for social media to light up with accusations of racism. Some are calling it a "get this black man out of my frame" moment. Other people are asking, why him? Why then? Well, what threat did he pose? He's a uniformed officer doing his job, but somehow his presence next to Trump's spokesperson seemed like a problem she needed solved fast. She hasn't responded yet. The Trump campaign hasn't responded either. And you know they're not because they don't care. But the tape is already moving fast, especially among black voters who have long said this kind of microaggression is routine and it rarely gets called out. If Donald Trump's top mouthpiece, top spokesperson, top voice, top representative can't keep her composure around a black police officer of all people, what does that say about the administration she's the face of? It's an interesting question. And as I see here, I've been talking over the wrong. Sorry, man. I apologize for this video. We're gonna have to cut that a little bit and fix it in post. But seriously, I appreciate y'all so much. Bear with me on my little tech issue tonight. I'm not usually bad, but it's I'm having some issues with the buttons. Anyway, we're gonna talk about Diddy in a second, man. But I want to see if there's any more questions coming up. Pink Highlight, I want to shout you out for gifting a membership. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for gifting a membership. Hopefully, someone grabbed that thing up. Other people, if we could get 5 people or 4 more people to match that to get 5 gifted memberships for the night, that would be so dope. And of course, if somebody wants to do a larger amount, I'm always grateful for that. Antoine Foster said, and there's no racism, says Black MAGA. Exactly. Now, look, there could be other reasons why she looked uncomfortable. There could be other stories behind the scenes that we don't have knowledge of. I don't want to be presumptuous about what happened or why, but what I will say is that it's a bad look, and them not responding to it kind of reinforces the thing. And that's almost their strategy, right? It's like, we do racist shit, we brag on it, we want the world to know. We don't do racist shit, we remain silent, we don't defend ourselves. Why? Because we don't get points for that. For us, the racism is the point. Even we ain't being racist, we want people to know. that we're still down with racism. So that becomes a kind of interesting thing. Anyway, D. Marie says, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That's right. We're trying to get to 200,000 subscribers by tomorrow. So please hit that button if you can. All right. Let's talk a little bit about Diddy. Because this story is obviously not going anywhere. And every day there's new developments in the trial. I want to make sure we cover as much of it as possible. So we're going to end tonight with some disturbing new testimony from inside the Diddy trial. Capricorn Clark, a former longtime assistant to Sean Diddy Combs, just told a federal jury that her ex-boss once threatened to kill her and tried to kill Kid Cudi. On the stand, Clark broke down in tears while describing a decade of fear, abuse, and violence that she says she survived while working for the music mogul. She told the court that Diddy shoved her in his Miami home back in 2006 and kicked his girlfriend Cassie with, quote, 100% full force in 2011. Clark said, one morning, Diddy stormed into her room with a gun and told her to get dressed and said they were going to go kill Miss Cudi, or Miss Cudi, better known as Kid Cudi. Why? Because he was dating Cassie. She said she was so scared for Cassie's life that she bought her a burner phone just to talk to Cudi without Diddy tracking it. She told the court that relationship was going to get us all killed. Clark says Diddy also had a long-standing issue with 50 Cent and told a guard at MTV that he, quote, didn't like people but liked guns the same day 50 was in the building. Plus, she revealed Suge Knight is the father of her best friend's kids and says Diddy warned her he'd, quote, have to kill her if she had ties to Suge. All this plays into the Fed's case that Diddy ran his empire like a criminal operation, using threats and force and fear to control everybody around him. While Diddy's lawyers say that this is all just emotional storytelling, prosecutors are pushing forward. And next up, the LAPD and the LA Fire Department have witnesses that are set to take the stand. This story is getting wilder and wilder. It's to the point that I'm not even sure they could say anything else about Diddy that would be shocking. The Diddy that we thought we knew, the public figure that we thought we understood, is no more. The stories that we've heard that have been confirmed by everybody are enough to change how we see Diddy. The Kid Cudi stuff, I can't say if it's true or not. I believe it, but I have no evidence. This is my personal belief. If I were a juror, I wouldn't just go on my personal belief, but nothing that we're hearing is shocking or appalling anymore. It's appalling, but it's not shocking. I'm saying that to say that may not fare well for Diddy. I think even if the jury says, we'll exclude that Cudi stuff because it's, it hasn't been proven, or it doesn't have the probative value we thought it did, all that's fine in terms of legal terminology. But at the end of the day, if the jury believes that Diddy did all that stuff, or just that he's capable of it, right? That no one is shocked to hear that he ran into a room with a gun and said, hey, let's go kill Cudi. Again, maybe he didn't do it. I don't know. I have no idea. They're just allegations. But what I will say is the fact that I'm not shocked, and the fact that it seems totally plausible, whereas 5 years ago would not have, 10 years ago would not have, says that maybe the juror has been inured to some of this violence. And there's a way that could be helpful for Diddy. If it's all so gruesome and violent that it all just kind of turns into white noise in a way, no one's tripping about it because it's just so much of it, then maybe they won't feel as compelled to convict him. But there's another way to think about this, right? Which is, if the jury has decided that Diddy's the bad person and bad people deserve to be in jail, then they're going to read all the evidence through the lens of he's a bad person and bad people belong in jail. We see this all the time. If the jury decides that you're a monster, if the witnesses have made such a presentation, if the prosecution has made such a presentation that that they made a presentation so compelling and persuasive that you just feel like Diddy is a piece of human garbage and has done all the things wrong, then the nuance of, did you prove your argument beyond a legal doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt, etc., all that stuff gets lost. Juries just say we can decide if Diddy goes home or not, and we can't imagine a situation where he goes home for all he did. That's how a lot of times it plays out. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm simply saying that, you know, there's always the jury nullification issue in cases where it's like, look, yeah, this guy did it, like the Samuel Jackson thing, and it was a time to kill. Like, you know, at a point the jury's like, look, yeah, he did it, but it, you know, there's a bigger ethical play here that we have to honor. These are the types of things that we have to think about. As far as the details themselves, you know, hearing that Diddy wanted to kill Cudi for dating his ex is wild to me. Not shocking given everything we know, but still wild. Hearing the 50 Cent stuff is super interesting given the fact that 50 continues to antagonize Diddy, continues to tease Diddy, continues to fuck with Diddy. I don't actually understand their beef. I remember thinking they had beef, and then it seemed like it was fake rap beef. They did the I Get Money remix with Hove, and they were all in the studio at the same time. It was like, okay, they're fine, right? This is rap shit. But the level of intensity that 50 uses to go after Diddy and the troll Diddy says that he clearly doesn't like him. And it sounds like from his testimony that Diddy don't like 50. People don't have to like each other, but when it comes to threats of violence and things like that, that's where I get concerned. And it seems like Diddy had a lot of issues with a lot of people, and I just don't get the why of it. But maybe there's a story that we just need to know later. And of course, the Suge Knight thing, no surprise there. The only thing, as I said before, is there was a moment where it seemed like Suge was the bad guy and Diddy was the good guy. And it turns out they're both just the opposite sides of the same coin. They're the same person. Different ways they move, different goals socially, you know, etc., different styles. But at the end of the day, in terms of just being willing to run an organization built on, as they said, threats, force, and fear, they both want that type time. These LAPD and LA Fire Department witnesses that are going to take a stand, I have no idea what they're going to say. I imagine these are based on reports of violence to the house. I'm imagining, but I have no idea what they're going to say. But I cannot wait to hear it because I think it's going to help tie the story together for us. That's all I can say. I want to shout out Partecito Brujito for making a generous donation. She said it's for the Air Max 90 fund. JVP got me peeping the kicks. Thank you for noticing. You know, I was wearing a lot of Jordans. I'm doing these Air Maxes now. Today I had on shells, but you know, I like to mix it up a little bit because I just love sneakers. So we'll thank you. I appreciate you donating to the fund. Also want to shout out Kismet J for gifting a membership. Again, thank you for your generosity. It means a lot that you gave somebody a membership. And hopefully, again, we'll get a few more tonight. All right, family, that's it for the show. I appreciate y'all watching tonight. Go hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're almost there, family. We are almost at 200,000 subscribers. So please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you're so inclined, please hit the join button. Become a monthly paid member of the channel. That would be amazing. You can get a membership for as low as $3.99 a month. You get exclusive content. You get extended content. You get all the things that come. You get early release content. You get all of it for being a part of the channel. So please consider it. You also get these live Q&A sessions that no one else is getting if you become a member of the channel. And it's what keeps us going. It gives us the financial stability we need to build this thing up. But if you can't do that, you can make a one-time payment. Go to Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle and drop something in. It can be $1, it could be $1 million, it could be anything in the middle. No amount is too small. No amount is too big. Do not feel ashamed or shy about dropping $1 in. $1 will go a long way. Don't feel ashamed about dropping $10 in. The $10 will go a super long way. Any amount is good, but I'm asking everybody who's watching tonight to drop $5 in. If everybody watching could drop $5 in, I would be extremely, extremely, extremely grateful. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See you tomorrow.